So we've just finished our second season at Leader Creek Fisheries, and even though we're starting to pack up to leave ourselves, we're actually going to show you what you need to pack if you're going to be working at Leader Creek Fisheries or probably at any seafood processing plant.
Many of the items we're about to show you are available on Amazon, and we're going to leave a link in the description below to our Amazon shop. That'll give you some ideas of what you might think you need yourself. So check out the link to our Amazon shop.
And we are Amazon affiliates, we do have to disclose that. So if you do happen to buy something through our Amazon shop, we do get a teeny tiny percentage.
And that's at no extra cost to you, by the way. Yeah. So it helps us out, keeps the lights on, so
keeps the camera on.
Now that we got that out of the way.
And we're also going to have just a couple of bonus little pieces of footage that we just never got to take last year on our other videos, so
yes, stick around to the end. You might want to poke your head in on what we have to show you at the very end of this video. Okay, let's take a look at the state of this room anyway. This has been our home for the last 6 weeks, and we're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive into what it is we brought and what you might want to consider bringing yourself. So, as you said already, where do we begin?
We'll start with clothes, because that's actually the most important thing. You need to stay dry, you need to stay warm when you're working at a seafood processing plant.
Alright, let's take a look at some of the things you should definitely have packed with you. Go ahead.
Alright, definite things to have. Lots and lots of woolly socks. Cotton socks kind of absorb the moisture and they hold it in, they trap it. The wool wicks it away. Your feet will still get wet, but not as bad as cotton. So wool socks are a definite must, and lots of them. You possibly could go through 2 pairs of socks a day. Just make sure you've got plenty. Tops, lots and lots of tops. Layering is the way to go here. So just like some flannel shirts, t-shirts, lots of t-shirts. Again, layers, base layers, thermals. I use these. It's like a thermal top, and then matching thermal leggings to wear under jeans or other leggings if that's what you're wearing. Yeah, like I said, layers are the way to go. Start with some thermals and then just layer accordingly on top of that. Basic leggings, just like this. Old clothes, that's another thing. Old clothes.
Yeah, something that might get, there's a little bleach stain right there from either bleach or maybe some kind of chemical when you're cleaning up.
Yep.
So something that you don't mind. You don't mind if it gets damaged.
Yeah. Your clothes are probably going to get ripped, torn, destroyed. They'll have chunks of fish caked onto them that won't even come out in the laundry, so they have to be clothes that you do not care about. It's not a fashion show, it's food processing, it's fish processing, so this is the most important stuff. Hoodies. Lots of hoodies. Maybe not lots, but I would say
2 or 3 maybe.
2 or 3 hoodies. Laundry is done once a week. So just keep that in mind, you could get wet, you could get soaked. Just have enough clothing to get yourself through that you can change and be dry. Multiple changes of clothing.
Yep, and we'll take a look over here, kind of the same thing. I have a neck gaiter here, right here. I definitely recommend this. For me anyway, keeping my neck completely covered at the front and the back is crucial. Winter hats.
Woolly hats.
Yep. And you still got yours on. Here are my thermals and my hoodies right here. And I've got an old pair of pants, very old pair of pants that have plenty of stains on them from work. These don't come out. As we mentioned, don't bring anything good that you want to wear back home out and about, because there's a good chance that stuff is going to get ruined. So, just an idea of stuff to bring. Think warm. I think we've proven that point.
Think very warm, because again, you don't know what part of the plant you could be working in. You could be working down around packing, or you could be in the freezers. If you're in the freezers, I've been told that the temperature gets to -37. So keep that in mind.
You're only in there briefly, but
you're in there briefly, but still,
it's cold.
It is cold. Just, you never know where you could be working. Just be prepared is the key. The thing with hoodies is that will also, it's another layer on the back of your neck, over the woolly hat as well. It keeps the top of your head warm. So hoodies are definitely a big thing to bring. Let's see, there's more stuff over here. Kind of getting down to the footwear. Boots. These are the boots. Here at Leader Creek, these are the free boots. If you've got those, we definitely recommend these insoles. These are thermal insoles. These are just the ones that we happen to buy. They just kind of radiate the heat up through your feet. And again, it's just an extra layer because you're on concrete floors. So you're on wet concrete floors. It's just to try to keep the cold and the damp out as much as you can.
That's right. And this side will go down, and this side, this is the side that you place your foot on. This reflective material will reflect any heat from your feet kind of back into the boot, and it'll keep your foot relatively warm. And we'll talk more about this in a bit because this is actually really important. I got a couple things to say about keeping your feet dry. We have some tips for you.
Oop, we're flip-flopping back away from the feet really quickly. This is something else that could be a good idea. This is, it's a balaclava, or I think some people call them ski masks. But again, it's an all-in-one little thing. Keeps the neck warm, top of the head, just basically the face. So just something else to keep in mind. Back to the feet.
Yep.
Flip-flops. Flip-flops for the shower. Just could keep your feet
fungus-free, maybe?
Fungus-free, yeah, there you go, fungus-free. These are just
let's be real here.
These are something that we swear by. These are called Bama socks. So they're like these little kind of footsies that you put on over your socks. So you put your socks on first, you put your normal socks on first. I typically wear 2 pairs of wool socks and then a pair of Bamas over the wool socks. And then you put your whole foot into the boot. These things are fantastic. These are last year's, these are this year's. These do keep your feet relatively dry. Your feet still might get a bit damp from sweating, but they wick away any moisture, so you could take these off at the end of the day when you take your boots off. These things will be soaked, but your feet will still be relatively dry. Right,
the outside of them will be soaked once you've got them in your boots. Yeah. It does wick away moisture from your foot. I have found that no matter how much my feet perspire inside the boots, because the boots don't breathe, these things will be soaking wet. Like you said, my feet are always dry on the inside and warm. So you couple that with these little insoles right here, and your feet are going to thank you. And that's it. They're going to thank you for thinking of that.
Yeah, the big thing is, again, we can't say enough, come prepared, especially your feet. Trench foot is a real thing. Trench foot is just, I'm not entirely sure what it is, but like your skin starts to peel and apparently it's quite painful. So you want to try to avoid it. And trench foot is as a result of your feet getting wet over and over and being stuck in boots for 16 hours a day. So yeah, keep the feet dry. Bama socks, thermal insoles, can't stress that enough. Big thing. Yeah. Keeping your feet as dry and comfortable as possible. If you're at Leader Creek, get a locker in the upper mess hall because the bunkhouse is quite far away from the plant. If you've got a locker in the upper mess hall, you can keep some spare socks in there, you can keep some spare hoodies, just spare clothes that if you get soaked in the plant from like washing stuff down or whatever, you can leg it over to the upper mess hall, go to your locker, get changed really quickly. Because you're just not going to have the time to run back to the bunkhouse. Not here at Leader Creek anyway.
And I'd like to say that I have forgotten my insoles. I've taken them out at the end of the previous workday to dry them. I've forgotten my Bama socks once, and that's all it took for me to realize that they do make a huge difference. If you're just going to put even a couple layers of socks on and then stick your feet into these boots right here, you're going to be sorry by the end of the day. So keep them dry, keep them warm, do whatever you can, and we certainly recommend the Bama socks for that. Even if you don't get the insoles, I would say if you had to choose between these or these, go with the Bama socks. That's my story.
Okay, my story is if you're coming to Leader Creek and if you are opting to go with the Northerner boots, which are the free boots, definitely get the insoles. I've forgotten to put these in one day, and it was not a fun day. So I would definitely get the insoles for those.
You know the struggle as well, then.
And the bottom socks, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the struggle is real. All right, the other thing is, some people bring boot dryers. Boot dryers are great because, again, even with the insoles in there, the boots are going to get wet. By the end of the day, you'll take those insoles out, they're wet. You can dry them in the window, you can dry them wherever in the room, but they will be wet. So a big thing is drying your boots out at night before you get up the next day to face another day of work. A lot of people bring boot dryers. We have taken the cheapskates option and we have jerry-rigged, for want of a better term. We've kind of jerry-rigged our own boot dryer. So what we do is, at the beginning of the season, people who buy the new boots, we run around and we grab one of their boxes that's left over. We prop it up like this. Every room has a little heater right there. So just again, you will be warm, that's your heater. And what we do is we prop our boots up on the box. I tried to prop them up.
You had them.
I know I did, but I wanted to show the heater.
There you go.
So we prop them up like that, and that is our makeshift boot dryer.
Yeah.
We leave them like that overnight. We'll take turns. You'll dry your boots out, or I'll dry mine, and then we'll switch it out.
And they won't catch on fire.
And they won't catch on fire, honestly.
Or melt.
Or melt, but do shut your heater off in the morning before you leave for work.
Yeah. So, and
it's a good way of drying.
These will dry in a few hours. That's what I've found anyway. So, the bottom of the boot stays, even if they're watertight, as we mentioned, they just kind of get a little bit damp from perspiration. Because they don't breathe too well, do they?
Yep. So that is the cheapskates way of getting around a boot dryer.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Clothing. Let's see. A towel.
Oh yeah, getting back to that. Maybe this is a good segue for personal items, huh?
Yeah. We'll get into personal items.
Stay clean and spiffied up. A towel. Yeah, you're gonna have to bring one of these. Leader Creek does provide bedding, which we cover in our first video. We talk about the bedding and the blankets that Leader Creek provides, but they don't provide a towel, so you are gonna have to bring your own. Bring
a towel. You will need it. We've got some shower gloves, whatever you want to bring, loofah, whatever, sponge.
What else do we have in this mess to talk about?
This is a mess.
Personal
actually,
care.
Now that we're talking about the towel, we should talk about this. Oh. This is dead handy. This is our own little makeshift clothesline. Leader Creek does not provide clotheslines, but there's a small little side story to this. Last year, our first season, we accidentally hit a deer on the way here at 80 miles an hour in Montana.
It was an accident.
So it was an accident, it really was. The rental car didn't fare well, neither did the deer. But anyway, we had to get some cord to tie the bonnet of the car down to kind of limp along to take the car.
And the bumper.
And the bonnet, the bumper, yeah. We had to tie the whole thing down. So anyway, we ended up with excess twine cord. And that's why we have this. So this is probably, about 35 feet long, this piece of cord.
I'd say so, yeah.
And it's perfect. Like last year we had just a single line. This year we figured it out. The best way to do it is
we took all that excess cord and we just doubled it back on itself.
Double it back, because that way air actually does get up through your towel. So it dries it out better as opposed to it just being a single line. So if you can actually pack about 30 or 35 feet of cord and just string it up on your hooks, you'll have the perfect clothesline to dry your towel out at night. Because again, there's a little bit of drying in the room, but you really do want to try to dry something like a towel out.
So put cord on your list.
Cord on the list, not something you'd normally
Who'd
think
have
of.
thought that?
We didn't right? Until we had a deer, and then we had to. So it was just a good way to use that up. Let's see.
Personal items now, kind of like toiletries and such.
Toiletries.
Some of it is, really kind of basic. Some kind of pain relief right here, whatever you want. Acetaminophen, this naproxen sodium, that's what we use. Tiger balm, this will actually keep mosquitoes away and keep you smelling pretty nice too.
But also it's like a muscle pain reliever. So Tiger balm is actually great for achy muscles. If not, you can get this when you're here. The nurse's office will have little packages of this. Or you can buy some Salon Paz, which is kind of the same thing. It's like a muscle gel for those achy muscles, because believe you us, you are going to have achy muscles.
Yeah, I think this is just like a lidocaine or something like that. So your own medication, if you're on any kind of medication, obviously you're going to have to bring enough to get you through your time here.
Yeah.
So you're kind of expected to be here at the least 2 months, so make sure you get enough medication to last you that long.
Prescription medication you'll definitely need. Yep, obviously if you're a girl, tampons.
Enough of those.
Yep, any kind of personal care that you think you'll need. Let's see, I'm still digging for stuff. Jerry will take you on a drive. I'm looking for something.
Yep, cold medications. We have some cold and flu tablets right here. Some Visine, some mucus relief tablets. You will get sick here. A lot of various kind of, I don't know, viruses and bugs kind of make the rounds. So many people jam together in one cold, damp place for so long. Antacids if you need it. Toothpaste, toothbrush, and what do you got?
Theraflu.
Oh, yep.
Theraflu.
More cough and
This
cold.
I cannot stress enough. This season, so many people got sick. It was mad. Just so many, and that included me. I got sick. Theraflu. Cannot stress this enough. Bring at least 1, if not 2, boxes of this stuff. There is a nurse's office here, but again, so many people were sick. She ran out of pretty much everything, like right down to ibuprofen. She was out of before the end of the season. Come prepared. We cannot stress that enough. Theraflu, some kind of pain relief, cough drops. We have a bag of cough drops somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll show you the cough drops later. Cough drops, just anything that you can think of. Think of potentially getting sick, and think of aches and pains, severe aches and pains. So think ahead.
Lip balm.
Lip balm.
There you go. So we're covering some of the basic stuff here. Maybe this will get you thinking of things that you can't live without. So
back to the aches and pains, because we can't stress aches and pains enough.
Oh yeah, we forgot this our first season.
We did not have these our first season.
Heating pads.
Heating pads.
Right?
Heating pads. If you can bring a heating pad, at the end of the day,
Do it.
just have your heating pad and wrap it around those aches and pains. It will help. Something else that is absolutely critical, at least 1 alarm clock.
Yeah.
Preferably 2, or in our case we had 3.
Yeah, we have a little travel alarm clock over here, and I got an electric one that has battery backup. This one just happens to be unplugged. That's your little alarm clock right there. You're gonna need these to get you up and to get going in the morning.
Don't just rely on an alarm clock that you plug in, because power has been known to go out here. So if power goes out, you definitely want something that's got a battery in it.
Yeah.
Or a couple of things with batteries.
I wouldn't even trust something with a battery backup in that case. I would definitely just go with something that runs solely on batteries.
Yeah, and I would say have 2,
Sure.
just to play it safe. We had 3,
Yep.
but you don't have to be like
These are
this.
crucial.
Yeah, these are really important. You want to get to work on time. You have to get to work on time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hand lotion. This is a little lifesaver right here, depending on where you're working. Actually, not even depending on where you're working, because you're going to wear liners inside your gloves. Those liners absolutely zap the moisture out of your hands. So, hand lotion is a massive ordeal. Bring it. Just even a small little tube of that.
Okay.
What else we got? Deodorant. I've known people to run out of deodorant. Toothpaste. I'm just about out of toothpaste.
Right.
Bring extra little things like this that you think you might not run out of, but you might.
Soap. Soap.
Extra soap.
Yeah.
I'm out of soap. I'm using your soap.
Yep. And I gotta say, if you're concerned about space the way I am whenever I travel, I use soap as shampoo, so it just saves me having to pack shampoo. You bring shampoo.
I carry my shampoo like that. Just get one of those little small travel bottles, stick a plaster on there. If you really need to know what you're bringing, if you can't remember, and you just write shampoo
right
or
as
conditioner
rain.
or whatever.
What else?
Some eye drops, not a bad idea.
Covered that.
Yeah, eye drops.
Yep. While you were off looking for your Theraflu,
My
I
Theraflu.
covered some stuff.
This, again, Theraflu. Can't stress it enough. Bring it.
Razor.
Lots of aerosol.
Razor. I know some people that actually forgot to bring razors. So believe it or not. So, oh yeah. Our double insulated water bottles. These go with us everywhere. And they certainly come to Leader Creek. Good to have.
So what we do with these is, these have come in really handy. At the end of the day, on our shift, we go to the canteen and we fill these up with coffee. As you can tell, just a few coffee cups lying around in the room. So we fill these up with coffee because the shift we're on, we skip breakfast in the morning just because that extra 5 minutes of sleep, any little bit of sleep that you can get, you will take, because it just means everything to you. So we just fill these up with coffee, and we have coffee in the room in the morning.
Yeah.
The insulation just keeps them warm, and we skip breakfast.
Yeah.
But at least you've got a little bit of coffee to get you going.
Giddy up.
So, yeah. Insulated water bottle. Definitely.
Crucial.
Bring one.
And again, we're going to leave a link to our Amazon shop in the description of this video down below. Many of the things that we mentioned here will be included. And again, these are just to give you some ideas.
Another thing, very, very important.
All right. I spilled coffee on that yesterday.
Yeah, the coffee dripping off it. Hand warmers. These are really important. Again, you've no idea whereabouts in the plant you're going to be, but no matter where you are, you're going to be cold. Hand warmers. The nurse was handing them out at the beginning of the season. They were gone. Like hotcakes or hot hand warmers. They were gone. So if you can bring some of your own, bring them. Blanket. Alright, the bed is buried. I think we might have mentioned this in the other video. It's up to you. You can bring an extra blanket if you want to. Leader Creek, at least, Leader Creek does provide this blanket. If you think you're going to get cold, you can always bring an extra blanket, but just bear in mind it's extra stuff that you're going to be jamming into a backpack. It's more stuff to carry. It gets down to probably the mid-50s here at night. Doesn't get that cold. You're only sleeping for about 4 hours anyway, so but it's up to you. You can bring an extra blanket if you want to, but they do provide it. I think that might be it.
I mentioned the razor, which people have forgotten. I've actually lent out nail clippers to a few people here already. So little things like this you need to think about. And
hair ties. If your hair is any length, you're going to have to wear a hairnet at work. You got to get all the hair up under the hairnet. Hair ties. Bring hair ties.
And you have over here, for plucking your eyebrows, Fiona, you've got tweezers and a little bit of a mirror there. So little
Small
things
mirror.
like this,
Just
you really
little
need
things,
to
yeah.
think about what you use at home as part of your beauty regimen on a daily, weekly basis, and bring them with you. If it's something you really can't live without, little things like keeping your nails clipped. Glasses. Yeah,
If you wear
2 pair.
glasses,
Because I broke one here, just cleaning them. I actually broke a pair of my $5 readers. So I'm glad I kind of had a second pair with me.
Eyeglasses.
I'm very glad I had a second pair with me. So stuff like that, just think.
As you can tell, this is our last morning here. We are getting ready to leave in just a few hours. So this is one of these like panic videos where we're just like throwing it all together. So it's nothing is nicely laid out, and you're kind of getting a quick room tour too.
Well, this is the way our room was pretty much like all season. Housekeeping goes out the window, so to speak. And but the beds were cleared off. But I mean, this is pretty much as you would expect to see it. It's lived in. It's got the lived in look going on.
Yeah, so apologies, the video's probably all over the place too. It's not like neatly laid out, and it's not really in any order. We're kind of jumping all over the place, but sorry, we're out of here in a few hours and we still have to pack. So, again, Leader Creek Fisheries. When you come here, you're going to be given one of these. This is a lanyard. This is your key to your room. And this is your key card for punching in and out of work. It's got your employee identification number on there. This is a little lifeline. Have this with you at all times. If you run to the loo, have this around your neck, or you're locked out of your room. Unless you leave your door cracked, but even that can close. Just always have this around your neck, because otherwise you've got a nice little trip over to Human Resources to try to get a spare key. If you're heading into work, you don't have time for that. So keep this beside you at all times. Key to your room, key card.
That's key.
That's key.
Alright.
Alright, one last thing. Here at Leader Creek, now again, we know the the gist of this video, like what you need, can apply to any seafood processing plant. This is kind of more Leader Creek stuff now. When you're at Leader Creek, a week or so into the season, if you do a good job, you may be given one of these by your lead. These, I think I've heard these referred to as Freddy books or something, but they're like just little tokens. And there's a tuck shop here up in the upper mess hall. So the tuck shop sells stuff like noodles and bars of chocolate and stuff. And you can trade one of these in for anything up, well not anything at the tuck shop, you're not going to buy like a Leader Creek hoodie or anything with this. But you can buy like a bar of chocolate or a pot of noodles or some little treat for yourself. So yeah, so it's just a nice little gesture of appreciation from your lead here at Leader Creek.
Okay, I'm sure we missed a couple other things like...
Possibly, yes.
Oh yeah, any kind of cream, ointment, again, just kind of going over things here. Absolutely crucial. What? Did you find something? Yeah. Oh yeah, stuff to pass the time. Okay, yeah. Books. I got puzzles right there. You've got a book to read. I've got a book over here as well. You're gonna want something to pass the time because, as we mentioned in our first video, Wi-Fi here is provided, but it's sorely inefficient.
Lacking. Slow.
So your own coverage at home might include coverage here. Ours doesn't. So we have, we just kind of rely on free Wi-Fi here, and it kind of sucks. So something to pass the time.
Yeah. A deck of cards, something small.
Exactly.
Again, you're not going to bring like a massive board game or anything, but something small like a deck of cards, book, just something. And it could take a few days for you to actually start working, depending on how the season is going, depending on how the fish is coming in. So you might just need something to while away a few hours.
And again, check out that link to our Amazon store just to give you some ideas.
Yeah, and if there's anyone out there, and if you can recommend something else,
sure,
pop it in the comments down below.
Let us know what you can't live without.
Yeah, because we need to know, and other people need to know too.
It'll be helpful for
whatever you've got.
It'll be helpful for others reading the comments. So any kind of information that you can share, we would greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, so that's it for Season 2 at Leader Creek here in Naknek, Alaska. And actually, that's something I should mention. Somebody mentioned here, Stoopy mentioned, the cough drops. It's known as the Naknek, the cough that people get. So come prepared for the Naknek, which is the cough. But yeah, Season 2 over and done with. We're tired.
We're heading home today.
And we're heading home, wherever home is. Yeah, we're heading off today, so that's it.
That's it. All right. Stick around for that bonus footage.
Yep, and check out our other video of Leader Creek.
Yeah, we've linked to that several times already. Up above. Are they there? Or there it is again.
Somewhere up there.
Somewhere up there. Yeah. So check that out, and in that video we'll tell you much more about the housing here, what work is like, and what life is like on campus here at Leader Creek.
Yeah.
If you've stuck around this long, we have some bonus footage to show you, and it's time for that.
Yep. So congratulations if you've actually stuck around this long. Hopefully the video was helpful to you on what you need to bring to a seafood processing plant.
For our bonus footage, we're going to include what a typical restroom looks like in one of the bunkhouses at Leader Creek. Now, we didn't get a chance to do this when we filmed our first video, but we figured some people might want to know what the toilets and the showers look like, so here they are.
So these are the women's toilets at Leader Creek. These are the toilets for bunkhouse 20. So they're fairly basic. It's 4 toilets. And then just in through here are the showers. And again, there's 4 showers. Now normally there are shower curtains on every single shower stall, just like this one. But because it's the end of the season, everything's getting broken down, including the toilets. So 3 of the showers, the curtains have been removed just in the breakdown at the end of the season. So yeah, as you can see, each shower stall is completely private. There are partitions between each stall. And there's a little bench, hooks to hang clothes up on. And yeah, that's it. Women's toilets, Leader Creek.
Fiona has explained it pretty well for the women's room, so it's quite similar for the men's room. There we go. 4 private shower stalls. A couple of them are broken down because it's the end of the season. Try not to trip over the bin there. 2 toilets, 2 urinals, and 3 sinks.
And finally, we like to quote Monty, the production and purchasing manager at Leader Creek Fisheries, who summed up perfectly the most important things to bring: thick skin and a short memory.